Good morning. We are going to call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance in this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligation. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust. Amen.
Amen.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the December 8th special meeting and the December 9th commissioners meeting.
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, corrections, changes? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Next up is public comment regarding pending resolutions. Is there any public comment regarding pending resolutions? Seeing none, we'll move on to resolutions. Start with the county engineer. Dan Becker is here today. Morning, Dan.
Morning. Happy almost Merry Christmas. I've got two resolutions for your consideration. The first is the resolution approving the final plat for the Bohanty Plan Development in Medina Township, and the second is updating our bridge load limits in Medina County.
I'll make a motion to approve the two resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Next up is Jeremy Cinco, the sanitary engineer.
Morning, everyone.
Morning, Jeremy.
Two resolutions for consideration today. The first is authorizing the sanitary engineer to enter an agreement with Davie Resource Group for construction inspection services for the Champion Creek Riverbank Stabilization Project. And the second is authorizing change order number 1 for the 2024 home sewage system replacement project.
I'll make a motion to approve the two resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy. Next up is Holly Murin from Human Resources with a long list today.
Yes. Good morning. It's end of year. So there's 9 resolutions, the first being our personnel changes resolution. We have 1 new hire in maintenance, 1 promotion in IT, 3 rate increases, 1 in planning, and 2 at Job and Family Services, 1 leave of absence at Job and Family Services, and 2 resignations, 1 at Solid Waste, and 2 in County Home, and 1 at County Home, sorry. The rest of the resolutions are wage increases for collective bargaining agreements to begin the first pay period of 2026. The second is being child support for the employees by Teamsters. The third is Job and Family Services for employees represented by Teamsters. The fourth is Transit Department for transit drivers. Fifth is Maintenance Department for maintenance repair workers. The sixth is Sanitary Engineers Department for water distribution workers. The seventh is Sanitary Engineers Department for lab technicians. The 8th is Sanitary Engineers Department for line maintenance, and the 9th is Sanitary Engineers Department for wastewater treatment plant employees.
I will make a motion to approve the 9 resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Holly.
you.
Next up is Brett Thomas from Finance.
Good morning, Commissioners. I have way less resolutions this time. I think this is a first. I have 5 today for you. The first resolution is amending appropriations. We have a couple salary bumps for building and county home. That's just tidying up our end-of-year salaries. And then I have a movement over for subsidies as well as a couple other behaviors. On our second resolution, we have transfers of appropriations. Our big one on here is a movement over for our health benefits for the end of the year. Our third resolution is expenditure adjustments for various funds. This is kind of across the board, most of them coming through for the court stuff. We have the reimbursements for the magistrates, for court mediation. Common Pleas has their law clerks getting charged out to the Special Projects Fund. And then we have the CDBG money from the Planning Division. Our fourth resolution is accepting the diesel fuel at the highway garage through that bidding process. We utilize the cooperative with Portage Area Regional Transit, and Gladius. That one was Gladius Energy, or Gresham Petroleum came through on that one. Sorry, at $2.26.47 per gallon. That contract will go through for the entirety of 26 for our diesel fuel. And finally, our fifth resolution, which is our weekly bills, in the amount of $2,498,767.60.
I'll make a motion to approve the 5 resolutions.
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
I did have one quick item that I wanted to mention. It is that time of year again. We have received two different notices from elected officials for bonuses over the past week and some. The treasurer has provided notice for their office. They are providing $15,883 across their employees in bonuses. And the clerk of courts has provided their notice as well, which totals $50,182. That gets split across auto title as well as their clerks. Both have provided some of their metrics as well as lists of employees for you to be able to look at if you have any questions.
Very good.
I did look those over, and I think in neither, I know in the treasurer's case, in the clerk of courts also, I think they were selective with employees. It wasn't every employee in the
Correct.
department, which I always make note of that, because if it is acknowledging, merit-based.
It's performance-based.
Yep.
Yes, both listed out performance qualifications that
Right.
were required, and neither one had anybody. Neither one was sweeping across their entire staff.
And they seemed otherwise compliant with the policy and also the statute that's been revised.
Right.
Yes.
Yep. Very good.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Brett.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next up, Matt Springer, County Administrator.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have 8 resolutions. The first one is approving a 2026 mental health service agreement with Alternative Pass for the Juvenile Detention Center. Second resolution is approving the 2026 medical services agreement at the county home with Dr. Candlewall. This is an agreement we've had in years past, not to exceed $800 per month. Third resolution is approving the 2026 alcohol and drug treatment services with Alternative Pass, also at the Juvenile Detention Center. Fourth is authorizing the sheriff to enter into a contract with Axon for body camera and taser equipment, along with 911 emergency software. This would be leased over a 5-year period, exempt from competitive bidding requirements. The fifth resolution is authorizing change order number 5 associated with the county home. This is their emergency repair project, and it's actually a credit of $39,925 for services that were no longer needed to complete that project. Sixth is allowing for the salvage and disposal of a vehicle in the sheriff's office. This was damaged beyond repair. The seventh resolution is adopting a cybersecurity policy for Medina County. This is compliant with House Bill 94 and was approved last week by the Data Board. And then eighth and final is authorizing the lease of 3 vehicles for the Sanitary Engineering Division. These vehicles are used to plow the 3 wastewater treatment facilities within the county.
I'll make a motion to approve the 8 resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion and second, any discussion? I did like that change order from the county home. That's my favorite kind of change order. So, and there's money coming back. Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. And next up, we have department updates. Do we want to do this at the beginning of the department update?
Let's do it after
Okay.
he does his report.
Okay. Come on up, Richard.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Building Department's report for November. Value of construction, after being lower than the previous year, almost all year long, now all of a sudden 2% higher here at the end of the year, largely due to the Medina Country Club rebuilding their clubhouse. Big project. Moving down to the new homes, from November, it kind of stabilized. So it's very similar to last month at $452,000 year-to-date for new home cost. New homes for November was down a bit below at 24. I don't know, that's a good 6 or so below average. Moving on to page 2, our monthly receipts ended up being down 4.7. And third page, year-to-date receipts are still down about 2% from last year. In the following pages, residential permits by township and villages. Page 5, commercial permits by townships and villages. Then the last page, shows the pretty healthy amount of commercial construction that was permitted in November, including the Medina Country Club, 18 million, that kind of brought up that number. Other than that, we're plugging along, spending time with Matt here in these last couple of weeks, trying to get everything out of my head and into his head so he can move forward. Our residential review times are still good. Commercial review times are quite good. Of course, there's less coming in now at this time of year. It's slowed down a little bit. And that's all I have.
So this also is your last update for us. So we have a resolution of commendation that I'd like to read, if with your permission. This is commending Richard Nelson for his years of service with Medina County. Whereas it has come to the attention of the Board of Commissioners that Richard Nelson has decided to retire from the building department on December 19, 2025. Whereas Richard initially began his distinguished career with the county on March 18, 2003 as a building inspector, bringing with him a commitment to public service and strong foundation in building safety and code enforcement. Whereas through his dedication and leadership, Richard was promoted to building inspector supervisor on June 5, 2006, and later to residential building official on April 8, 2013, where he continued to demonstrate excellence in oversight and service to the community. Whereas Richard's exemplary performance and steady leadership earned him the position of assistant building official on August 27, 2017, a role he held until his initial retirement on December 19, 2019. Whereas recognizing the continued need for his expertise and guidance, Richard returned to public service on August 14, 2020 as the chief building official, where he led the department with professionalism, integrity, and a calm, solutions-focused approach. Whereas Richard has been widely respected for his chill demeanor, his ability to lead with quiet confidence, and his talent for ensuring the department operated seamlessly, even during times of transition and challenge. And whereas, beyond his professional accomplishments, Richard brought a sense of fun and camaraderie to the workplace, most memorably through his spot-on Willie Nelson Halloween impersonation. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Medina County, Ohio, that Richard Nelson be and is hereby commended for his more than 2 decades of dedicated service and extends its best wishes for a fulfilling and well-deserved retirement.
I will make a motion to approve.
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second.
I would like to say a few words. Richard is not a big take credit type guy, and he came back out of retirement for us at a time where the department truly needed Richard to come back out of retirement. He came back and he spent so many hours catching the department back up, working weekends, helping the private sector in our community catch back up when there had been a very difficult building season. And so I will be forever grateful to his true public service to our community.
I'd have to ditto, and I'll just say that we need to change our performance evaluations of employees and start putting in chill demeanor as one of those categories we'll give extra points to.
Well, that was part of it. Like, it was really a tough time, and it didn't rattle him. He just took the reins and brought it back to where it needed to be. So, again, forever grateful.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your service. We'd like to present this, have a couple photos.
roll
We need to vote.
Oh, we do need to vote first, yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. See, I'm already checked out.
That's all right.
Congratulations. Helen, push you?
I did not.
Thank you. You have a couple more words. Or a Willie Nelson song.
I can look like him, but I cannot sing.
Okay.
But it was a lot of good years. I was very happy to come back, help you out. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, to follow that, we have Ben Naw from
Hard to
EMA.
follow. Hard to
Yes.
follow.
Good morning, Ben.
Good morning.
So, quarterly report for EMA, so this is from September until now. Start off with, you got a list of trainings completed, since September. Really the only one that's notable on there, other than all the team trainings, was the PIO class that we were planning to host that was canceled during the shutdown. So that was the only kind of outside training that we were hosting that quarter. So we'll, go ahead and reschedule that here in 26, hopefully. As far as the projects, the radio tower project is complete now. We just received the closeout paperwork actually yesterday for that. So that should be online for the Harris system here within probably like 2 weeks. The fire department MOU, so we're working on a new mutual aid agreement for all the fire departments in the county. That has gone to the prosecutor's office for approval. So that's, we'll be done here shortly as soon as they take a look at it. The new planning project that we're doing is the debris management plan. That's about 80% done, so we'll be working with, pretty closely with Barb to finish that off. Because a lot of that involves, that facility and how, debris after a tornado would move through her facility and be staged there. And kind of what that process looks like. The COOP planning is, it's still in progress. We have the training coming up on January 16th. That's the continuity of operations planning training for all the department heads and people that they're sending. So that'll kind of help to tie up that project. So Dawn's been doing a great job working with all the department heads on kind of creating COOP plans for each county department. The power outage discussion. So it's kind of a hot topic right now, what to do when there's a power outage. So we had an exercise here about a month ago that we participated in along with a few other entities. So to follow that up, we're just going to get together and kind of have a more informal discussion to kind of work through more Medina County focused, what that looks like. Mass notification vendors. We're going to start looking at all the mass notification vendors here early next year, just what the different options are. So we'll have more discussion about that actually at the board meeting tomorrow. You have a list of incidents there. Kind of a whole mix of incidents this past quarter. So year to date we're at 71. I guess a few of the interesting ones, there was the hazmat call on 1014, the truck that fell off the bridge under Ryan Road on 71. It turns out that was actually a stolen truck and trailer that they didn't know how to drive that fell off the bridge. A few structural collapse cars, one that hit Burger King in Brunswick, another one in one of the industrial buildings in Sharon. We had an abducted 3-year-old in Lafayette. That was a CART call out, which is a child abduction response team, so that brings in all the law enforcement agencies across the county to assist with that. Also, towards the bottom there, you'll see the structural collapse, Region 5. So that's actually the first call out for the regional team for structural collapse. If you saw in the news that big, that senior apartment explosion in Austintown. So the regional team was actually called to that, which we have a couple people on. So a truck and 2 people responded to that. And I actually left off the list, the I-271, which is the pictures on the next page. I copied this off the monthly ones, but you see the pictures there. That was our big incident for the quarter. That was a ethanol tanker at 4 o'clock in the morning on 271 southbound that turned over. So it caused a closure. I'm sure it affected some of the people here. 271 northbound and southbound were closed for a good 10 hours. But it released 6,500 gallons of ethanol into the median there. So you can see that the top picture there is with all the ethanol that's sitting in the median itself. The next page is just an incident map for the quarter. So you kind of spread around the entire county. And then the grants.
Boston Town didn't make the map.
No, I zoomed it back in. Didn't make much sense. So some action on the grants, I guess, since the last meeting. The Homeland Security grant for the radio tower and the hazmat training grant have both been closed out. So we did get reimbursed for both of those. The Emergency Management Performance Grant, our last drawdown of that will be right up to the first of the year here, and then that will be closed. That Local Emergency Planning Grant, that's our annual grant for running the LEPC. We did receive $10,000 from Enbridge. That's new since the last meeting. That's for hazmat equipment. So we'll be in the process of purchasing some booms and then a meter with that $10,000. The next two, the 25 Emergency Management Performance Grant and the Homeland Security Grant, is still tied up in court. So there's been no movement on those. The anticipation is that we will be getting those awards at some point. They've already told all the states what they were going to be getting, but I believe I talked about it before, but Ohio is one of the states that actually went up in the funding, so it was a good thing for us. But they did shorten the performance period. You see it to 9/30/26 instead of the typical 3 years. So both of those things are the dollar amounts are awarded to the state and the performance period are both tied up in the courts right now. So the funding was placed on temporary hold to the end of the year at least. So we're just waiting for those awards.
Is there some discussion that the spend categories will change, or the dates will change, or will we have to spend that?
So we won't have a problem spending because we use that one for our payroll.
Right.
The performance period actually started October 1st, even though we don't have the money yet.
Gotcha.
So we'll be able to go back to October 1st whenever we get the award.
Yeah.
And reimburse all those expenses. So we'll be able to use the money, but a lot of counties are going to have an issue with that shortened deadline of 9/30/26.
Yeah.
So that's why it's tied up in court, as the counties want it back to the 3. Not even really from Ohio. It's mainly Ohio didn't file a lawsuit against it. Some of the other states did. So we'll see.
And the public information training, you said that's going to be rescheduled, or?
Yeah, we'll reschedule that. After the first of the year, we're allowed to request the trainings for 26, so we'll put that one back on the list and just hope it goes through again for next year.
And then you mentioned the power outage discussion. What's the driver behind that kind of planning because when it references a prolonged power outage, what's the origins of that conversation?
So the initial exercise was actually Reliability First. I don't know if you've heard of them. They reached out to various entities in the county. It's a group that's paid for by the power companies, essentially. They wanted to have an exercise. Really, honestly, it wasn't a very good exercise.
Okay.
But Wadsworth just had their power outage,
Yeah.
here a couple of months ago. So they were included in that. So just discussions with Brunswick, Medina, and Wadsworth, especially since Wadsworth just had that one, and we had the one up in Cuyahoga County here
Right.
not long ago. Just
that's what makes
it's something
me
that's worth talking about.
Yeah. I don't want the power companies to think we all have really good plans for what we do if that happens. I want them to keep providing power to us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's nothing specific like we're going to lose power in Medina County. It's
Right,
just
right.
something that could happen.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Great.
very good.
Certainly before we get any data centers on board, we want to make sure we have a reliable
True.
power supply. Thanks, Ben. Next up is public comment. Is anyone here to share for public comment?
This is the second public comment?
It is, yep.
Yeah, come on.
Okay. And I know you've been here before, but just share your name and your address for the record, and then you'll have 5 minutes.
I'm Melissa Clifford from Litchfield, 4310 Bryanton Road in Litchfield. And yeah, I've spoken a couple of times about Buckeye taking the unvoted property taxes over the last few years. And so I've had a lot of discussions and been attending the Budget Commission meeting. So if I don't get this organized, I'd really like to just make a case for finding the resources and pulling the resources to reinstate the work of the Budget Commission at the county level. So there is a Budget Commission that is working, and they're doing their best to get that really a good procedure in place to get that going. But I see that there's really a lack of resources going into that. And that is a very important checks and balance for what we need to do to keep these schools restrained. So I'm in the Buckeye School District, and since their revenues have gone out, I would like to give you this. So this is just something that I did for Liverpool Township specifically, because we're doing the grassroots efforts. We, the people, are really doing our grassroots efforts to take care of our community. But we keep coming up with, it all comes down to, we got to take care of ourselves, because there are, it is an institution that's gotten a little bit out of hand, and I know that we can all agree to that, at least to some degree. So your auditor's office did give me the surplus expected for next year. I have done everything that I could to see that Buckeye would not take that unvoted property tax for next year of $2.5 million. There's nothing more that I can do. I've worked through the schools, I've worked through the board. We've tried our hardest to get 2 new school board members on, but we did not beat the incumbents out, so we only got one of our new school board members on who gets this. And they would have worked for the efforts. So then I come to the county, and I learned so much about this budget commission that so many counties don't have a good system in place for. And so please find the resources through the county treasurer's office, the auditor's office, whatever office has the budget. Get this in place before these hearings come up in January, February for these school districts. This is it. This is the key, that we take care of ourselves. I give you the Liverpool one just so you can get a concept of, it is the school districts with these 20 mil floors and these emergency funds, right? So you're seeing the Buckeye School District has many old levies that nobody ever talks about. And the last time that Buckeye approved an operating levy in 2016, 2017, the voters were never told about all those old existing levies. You know how it is. The ballot text really is very vague. It says, and we were told that our property taxes would not go up. Of course, there's that caveat about those market values, right? And that's why we're in the trouble that we're in. But 8 years ago, when they convinced us to pass that, we were told that our property taxes would not go up. That was the message. So we're just in absolutely disbelief and so frustrated that we continue to see our property taxes go up just on these current expense levies. They don't need the money so much that they're in their coffers. They are taking the money to build a brand new high school to replace our old high school that is only 50 years old. And they're using excuses that we need a junior high. Yes, we need to do something with our 70-year-old junior high. Absolutely. It has been absolutely way overdue. But now, because we voted in all these current expenses that have continued, and what has happened the last 5 years, they are going to just really, really squeeze us some more. It is going to lead to them asking us for more money. So that's a little bit of a case. So yes, please talk to the other offices about how you get enough staff to take care of the work that needs to happen on the Budget Commission.
Let me ask you, what makes you think they don't have the resources or the personnel at the Budget Commission?
Looking at
This
other.
is the first I've heard.
Okay. This is all new, right? We've all been waiting for the state to do what they're doing. So the state has officially given more teeth into these new House bills, right? That we're still waiting on. So this is no longer a question what the Budget Commission do. It is now, depending on what DeWine does, and if he signs these acts, which we're waiting on, and but you need administrative support for the people who are, I think, they have their job. That's the impression that I'm getting.
This is the first I've heard that those bills have impact on the administrative ability of the Budget Commission. It does give them specific statutory authority where areas that I believe that some Budget Commissions believe they didn't have clarity.
Yes.
But this is the first I've heard that there's any kind of administrative cost to these additions?
Okay, well, the work.
Other than having the necessary hearings
Yeah.
with the schools in order to review and have the authority to exercise
And
discretion
the Budget
over
Commission
that.
meets
At
every
those budget
month,
commissions.
every single
So they've
month.
been- So
Yeah.
this is the first I've heard there's any
I
issue
am
about local resources
very
for the Budget Commission.
concerned. So it's been, this has been going on for 4 or 5 years, right? That they've been coming into these, well, we've just reinstated the budget hearings. I heard the Budget Commission was not a stable, well-working thing until we had so whatever, I want to know that you've got enough staff to take care of these hearings, because the schools are going to do what the schools are going to do. They're going to make a case, a very simple, vague case for why they need these unvoted property taxes. And I don't want it just to be passed through as, as a standard procedure that is really not looked at. This needs the care and the diligence.
Okay, well, the Budget Commission is made up with the prosecutor, the treasurer, and the auditor. And the information that is needed at the Budget Commission, correct me if I'm wrong, John, Kristen and Michelle take...
Not Michelle.
Kristen takes care of every month the information that you guys need, correct?
Yeah, they're in the upcoming budget. There's going to be a request for. Sorry. John Hunter, the auditor's office. Yeah, so some of that there will be in the upcoming budget cycle a request for a resource, but
A resource being an employee?
Yeah.
A full-time employee?
For Budget Commission?
Yeah, so for Budget Commission, we've been doing a lot of research because of the changes in legislation. A lot of counties have 3-4 people that just do it because
Counties like examples?
because you're
Like
not
Summit County?
Geauga. Well, exclude Cuyahoga and Summit because
Okay,
of the charter, but Geauga, Lake, Lucas.
I'd like to know how that compares to our existing auditor
Yes.
staff. I mean, do they have a larger auditor's office and full-time Budget Commission employees? Or do they have
Yeah,
a smaller auditor's office?
It just depends.
Okay. I'd like, for purposes of the budget discussion, I would
Right.
want to know that.
Right.
Correct.
We're going to
Yeah.
need a list
Cor-
and everybody's
correct.
title
Yeah.
and everybody's job description
Yes.
for any kind of increases.
And thank you. I think we stepped on your 5 minutes, but we expanded the time, so you'd have had your 5. I appreciate your comments. We will continue to have these discussions. I agree that we want to have the Budget Commission have the resources that it needs. But there is a larger discussion too about how that fits into the current operations of the auditor's budget and everything else too. Because what we don't want to do, and I think you'd probably agree with this, we don't want to expand the operations of a different operation of the county government to get to the point where that becomes too costly, because that also requires tax dollars to fund it as well. And so we just always have to be mindful of those things when we start talking about new employees.
Correct. You're not just talking schools, you're talking 53 taxing districts.
Right.
And
Right, but
And
the
everybody
makeup-
needs
but
to be-
the makeup of the
Yeah.
whole department has to be evaluated, not just
Right.
how many employees one county has in their Budget Commission. Do you know what I mean? The makeup of the whole department has to be evaluated.
correct.
But that-
I just have one last
Sure.
conclusion on that. This would have been your property tax reform relief right here. If this would have been going on the last few years, this is it. This is what I know my school district is looking for. We have nothing against the townships or not hearing anybody complain about the county, the townships, and as you see, that is nothing compared to the 61 mills that the Buckeye School District gets. So, that's it. Thank you
Melissa.
very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And thank you, John. Yep. Is there anyone else here for public comment? No. Seeing none, we'll move on to discussion session. Matt, anything? No? What else for discussion? Colleen?
Yes, tonight Denise and I are excited. We are going to see the presentation from the Fair Board Company to the Fair Board.
That's great.
So we're looking forward to that. Early after the holidays, Matt and Stephen and I are going to be meeting with Christine Marshall from Ohio Means Jobs over at our site at 72 Public Square. now that it looks like the law library will be staying in square footage that previously had been Ohio Means Jobs square footage. It's a permanent situation, and we're going to be evaluating their space and hear from them on what their needs are going into the future.
Great. Thank you. Steve?
Yeah, I wanted to bring up the Ohio Department of Agriculture has announced a land use planning grant for 2025 that involves looking at providing assistance to the counties. Only county governments are eligible to apply as lead applicants under the program. This would obviously involve working with various stakeholders involving certainly Soil and Water, Farm Bureau, I think at the time we're looking at agriculture here in Medina County, which I think traditionally Medina County and residents value agriculture. We have a balanced growth approach since the 90s. We've tried to, but agriculture has had significant pressures, and I think it probably is time to revisit. We did something similar in the 90s with farmland preservation. Looked at that, and I think it'd be be nice for us to take a look at putting together a coalition. I've talked to Denise already to evaluate as to whether we want to apply for this grant, this planning grant, and working with Soil and Water and the Farm Bureau and evaluating in areas of the county that are that still have a vibrant agricultural community, a lot of farmers out there in agriculture, and how that we can help support them, either through land use or strategic planning, likewise to make sure that agriculture still thrives in Medina County. And as you talk about our county fair, to make sure that we've still got a good component of agriculture active in Medina County, able to participate in that county fair. And I just wanted to throw that out, and with your agreement, maybe have Denise take a look at this. There are some Teams meetings, I guess, to talk about the applicants. One's tomorrow and the other's on the 14th. But actually start putting together a list of the community partners to take a look and see how we might be able to help support agriculture, the future of agriculture here in Medina County for the next number of years.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great idea. I had a conversation, I think I'd mentioned before, with Nate at the parks too, and he's looking to build a deeper relationship too with the farming community.
That's good.
Not in terms of preserving it like a typical donation to the parks, but some outside the box things that would preserve CAUV, and also the farming, the active farming of land and using it for educational tools and things. So that could be a good match with this. But
we've done a lot in the last number of decades to help promote agriculture. I think it's just time to refresh and go in and see what else could be done to help continue to sustain it.
I think
and to support it, and it is a vibrant economic, I'll say, an economic development initiative that could continue to have great value to those of us that live in the cities, and we're not living on farms, but we value those that are around us, surrounding in the townships.
Absolutely. Great. Thanks for bringing it to
All
us.
right.
Do you have a sense for if you want, I'm hearing that maybe the farmland preservation grant, but.
Well, there's also a comprehensive, and
Right.
you probably want to take a look at that. I know each one has farmland preservation grants are $25,000 per applicant, and then comprehensive land use planning is $50,000. And I guess that would be sitting down with our partners or the people that we want to work with as to which makes most sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think. But I think that overall, it is the Department of Agriculture's providing, and there is a scoring criterion. Smart growth principles are part of the scoring, and I think that's kind of encourages some of those areas. I mean, we've got areas in our county where we are promoting development, residential, smart residential. We're trying to increase affordable housing, if you will. But I think likewise, if we can also help support initiatives that keep areas like in Chatham Township and Spencer and even parts of Guilford and Homer Township agriculture, all the better.
Yeah. No,
Our subdivision regulations, we don't have too many subdivisions in Chatham or Spencer. Or Homer.
Right.
Yeah, so.
And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Probably
Yeah,
not, so
yeah.
we're putting money into the development part, the residential development.
Yep.
Let's put some money into see what we can do to help assist the farmers in high-value farm.
I think that is time well spent. So,
Yep.
great.
I will attend that meeting.
Super,
Thank you,
good.
Denise.
All right,
We
great,
appreciate you
thanks.
taking the lead.
All right, that's all I had.
Okay. I just wanted to make notice that we do have we're going to go into executive session and we will adjourn from executive session as we typically do. But we do have an 11 o'clock, the special meeting to discuss wastewater treatment with sanitary engineers. So I just want to make sure that was on everybody's radar. That's a separate meeting that will convene at 11 o'clock. That is a separate public commissioners meeting. So with that, I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session to consider the employment of a public employee.
Second the motion.
Motion, second, any discussion? Roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.